Hey guys, Chaps here, and let's talk about Operation 2. This was gonna be a video covering everything announced for Operation 2 today in the What's Up, but it looks like the bulk of that information isn't coming until next week. What we did have confirmed though is that Baird and Lizzie Carmine are coming. Oh, and this little thing called Free-For-All you may have heard of? On top of that, it also looks like 2v2 may be confirmed as well. So let's start with 2v2. This was first teased through the Esports Gears Twitter account with this tweet. It clearly says, play Gears 5 2v2 and free-for-all before anyone else. This could be taken as play 2v2 and also play free-for-all before anyone else. They in theory could just be playing private execution and limiting it to 2 people. How I read this tweet though is play 2v2 before anyone else and play free-for-all before anyone else. So that indicates to me that 2v2 is actually going to be one of the full modes coming in Operation 2. What do you suspect? Are we going to see 2v2 execution, 2v2 Nashers only execution, or hey, even some other 2v2 like TDM variant like Brothers to the End or something? Either way, I'm excited for this. But I wonder what maps we're going to be playing this on. I doubt it's the full-size maps, as in the past we've gotten smaller maps to play on. Being Foundation is in the game already, we're probably going to be seeing Foundation mids again. Boxes is the other one that we've always had for a while, but I don't know if we're going to be getting that unless they plan to bring in War Machine as well. That said, the pure ports from Gears 4 are apparently pretty easy if they don't have to do the art for them, so maybe we'll get boxes. When I look at how they could work with the new maps, there's 3 spots that come to mind. Bunker has the platform down low, and it has the bowl up top. Either of these would make an interesting 2v2 map. My personal bet though would be on tracks. I think that we're going to get a 2v2 map on Asylum down on the train tracks. It just seems to be set up very nicely for some 2v2 action. Let's put this map talk on hold for a minute though and hop over to Free-For-All. This is a huge deal and people have been begging for this for years now. This mode is going to fill a pretty significant void in the Gears 5 playlist setup. We'll now have a spot for people who go and play a few casual games without needing to rely on teammates. The other hole that isn't considered quite as often is the private match and party game scene. I used to play with this group called Gears and Beers, and 90% of what we did was free-for-all. It makes for a really fun environment. I don't care what else is announced for Operation 2. I think free-for-all is going to take the cake as the thing that I'm most looking forward to personally. Now that we know free-for-all is coming, there's 3 big things we need to talk about. And those are, how are maps going to play out with this? How will weapon tuning work? And how is scoring and downs going to work? Let's start with scoring. My guess is that it's going to be based on eliminations. From the start, TC has been showing us eliminations rather than kills. This lends itself perfectly to a free-for-all atmosphere, where you can get credit not only for the person who got the kill, but anyone who did a decent amount of damage. I am curious to see if maybe kills are worth 2 and assists are worth 1 or something though. And hey, maybe it's 1 point for a down, 1 point for finishing off a down, and 2 points for a straight kill. Who knows? The other aspect is downs. One of the key things that got Free-For-All to work so well in Judgment was the lack of downs. This kept things moving and helped avoid people from stealing downs. Honestly, I could see Gears 5 going either way on this. I personally think they're going to leave downs in, and that's for one main reason, which is weapon tuning. By leaving downs in the game, they allow themselves to keep the existing weapon tuning. Think about it, without downs, certain weapons become much more powerful. Something like a Marksa or a Longshot that only used to be able to kill from a headshot will now have the ability to kill from a body shot. With certain weapons, this would create a serious buff, and thus lead to the balance feeling different than the other modes. The only way to counter this is for Free-For-All to have its own tuning. But either way, having an FFA tuning, or leaving it the same and just having some of the weapons naturally feel different, it doesn't lend itself very well to consistency. For that reason, I think they're going to leave downs in the game and keep the existing tuning. I don't think it's going to be competitive tuning though. I have a feeling that they're going to opt for arcade tuning. By having arcade tuning, which allows for headshots from most weapons, they're going to eliminate most of the downs in the game. Again, this keeps things moving and removes some of the instances where we're going to see kill stealing. The only thing I'm slightly concerned with if they keep some existing tuning is how quickly you can die. With crossing and having multiple enemies shooting at you, especially with arcade's increased headshot damage, you might find yourself dying incredibly quickly. Oh well, I guess that's why it's best to be aware of your surroundings. Sorta a side topic of tuning is, what are the loadouts going to be like? I've seen some speculate of the Judgment style, where you get one main weapon and a pistol. I'm pretty sure that was due to the control scheme limitations though, so I'm guessing that we're going to be seeing a 2-weapon plus a pistol and maybe a grenade system. What do you think we'll start with though? You think it will be Lancer and Gnasher for everyone? Remember, Arcade lets some people start with the Hammerburst or Enforcer. You think maybe we'll get those options to start with? Another amazing thing about Free-For-All is that it introduces a mode with more than 2 teams. This may indicate that it's easier for us to get wingmen in the future. Probably one of the best aspects though are the free-for-all game mode variants that are now possible. Gun game or Master at Arms, anyone? Yes please. But now, let's get back to maps. I previously predicted that we'd see 5 maps in this operation. All of them would work well in all modes, but 3 would be asymmetric and based around free-for-all, while the other 2 would cater more towards escalation and esports. Bringing 2v2 into the mix kinda throws this off. I'm still hoping that we get 5 normal maps as I described previously, but then in addition get 2 or 3 maps made for 2v2. Looking at this from a pure numbers perspective though, that's like 8 maps. I'd be kinda surprised if we got something like that, but hey, maybe. I mean, TC really needs a strong message to send in Operation 2, and having 8 maps would go a long way. What do you all think we'll see? I'm curious to see what you expect in terms of maps, so leave a comment below. I don't necessarily care about which maps we'll get, I'm guessing most of them are going to be new and not remakes, but I really care about how many maps do you think we're going to get, and what do you think the minimum acceptable amount of maps is? While you're down there, how do you think free-for-all is going to work? Will we have downs? How's the scoring going to work? What are the loadouts going to be like? Oh, and one last note. I see that 80% of the people watching these videos aren't even subscribed. Come on now. If you enjoy these, hit that sub button. Help us become YouTube famous, you know? Anyways, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll catch you next time.